Hi everybody, this is Sandy Reese with StampinCrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I want to welcome you to our weekly tutorial. This is our second week of showcasing our awesome sale-a-bration products from 2021. Last week I had featured the, Approaching Perfection stamp set. So you can view my YouTube channel or look back on our Facebook group and find the videos there. This week, I am going to feature the Darling Donkey stamp set. So let me flip you guys back down and we'll get started. Oh, that was a close-up right there. Okay. Oh, let's do a quick flip. Okay. All right, so this is the Darling Donkey stamp set. Super cute. I like this. It's got 3 different standing or sitting positions with the donkeys, and then it has 4 sentiments, and then kind of a cute little sparkle. I've got little paper tabs all over, a little sparkle type image. So we're going to do 3 different projects, and I'm also going to coordinate this a bit with our second and third projects with the In Good Taste suite. So I'll be using the Tasteful Touches bundle, which is the stamp set. I'll show you a better picture. Tasteful Touches. I like this one because it has some, just kind of various backgrounds and then a few images, but it also has 4 great sayings that are a little larger. Our donkey set has smaller sentiments, so having the option of these bigger ones is nice too. So we'll be using this, and I also use the Tasteful Labels dies, which it coordinates with it, which is just labels. So they're great for any type of project. And then we'll also be using some of the what is this called? In Good Taste Designer Series paper. This is a little more expensive for the paper, but you get twice as much. So it's a ton. It's got some great wood grains, which are my favorite. It also has textiles, like tiles and bricks and carpet texture, all kinds of fun different textures to go with any project. So we'll be using a bit of that as well. Okay, so our first card, we're just going to go simple. I've got a Whisper white card base. I have a white panel for the top. And then I've punched out a little balloon. We're going to do a birthday card. So this is from our rainbow glimmer paper. Isn't it beautiful? And I went with green because green could go with girl or boy. It can be useful for anything. So I went with a green glimmer bow. And this is the card. This is the sample I had made. Isn't that cute? So simple. We're going to change it up a little bit. In this one, I have him holding the string in his mouth. The next one, we're going to try just sewing it around the tail and see what happens. Sometimes it's fun just to experiment. Okay, so let's get out our little sitting donkey stamp. We're going to do a card with each of our different donkeys so you can get an idea of how to use them. And I am going to look for my memento ink here. So I'm just stamping the donkey in the bottom right corner. All right, we'll give it just a second to dry. And we're going to use a little bit of linen thread. You could use linen thread or Whisper white, everything's falling. Whisper white baker's twine. I'm going to try doing a little sewing technique. So hopefully I can thread this needle with this linen thread. All right, if my head's in the way, I apologize. Okay. Oh, that went pretty quick. Pretty easily. So what I want to do is have it tied around his tail So I'm going to bring it out here. I'm going in the bottom of his tail. Gotta get it through. And then bring it up just above his tail. All right. Come on out. Just leave a little bit and then bring it back down through that same hole from the bottom. I probably should have colored him first. Let's color. Let's color before we finish sewing so he can get the color on his tail. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on. So I'm just using crumb cake blends on the inside of his ears, kind of on his little tuft of hair up here, above his nose, under his neck, kind of around his back a little bit. And then everywhere where you'd have a little shadow and the back set of legs. Down here, right here. Okay. Just using that. And then we're going to color in with the light crumb cake blend. Just color in the rest of it. All right. I don't get too super detailed. Let's get his tail too. All right. Now I'm going to take the other end and blend just a little bit where it kind of overlaps. Okay. This doesn't have to be super technical, and it's very quick. I'm not huge on coloring. All right, I'm using a little bit of the dark petal pink, just kind of change the color of his little face right there, because donkeys have like a lighter nose. And then we'll use a little bit of light smoky slate to color his hooves. Okay. All right, so he's colored. All right, now we can finish tying the balloon onto his tail. Okay, so I've got it tied there, and I've got to come back out of the top hole. Hopefully. Let's find that. There it is. Okay, so we can put it onto our balloon. I cut it a little bit long, so it should stick okay. All right, so if I'm gonna put the balloon right about here, we've got to stamp our sentiment. So we're gonna stamp happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday, not happy. It says it's your birthday. Okay, I think I'm gonna do that over here just a little bit, since I'm repositioning my balloon a little to the left of my sample. And then I've got this cute little sparkles, and we'll stamp those in Granny Apple Green, so that matches our balloon. I think I'll do that after I attach my balloon. So let's use a little bit of dimensionals to attach our balloon. So we want it right about here. I just want a little bit of slack so it looks like it's waving in the wind. All right, and then I'm just using some of the edges because I want it a little bit bigger to hold that string onto my balloon. And then we'll cut off the extra. All right. And we'll just kind of pop this on right there and leave it a little bit loose. Yay, perfect. Okay, let's put our sparkles on. All right, we'll put one sparkle here. Maybe we'll do another sparkle up near the balloon. All right. That is all we need to do for this card. We're just going to pop this back on. This is why when I do coloring with the blends, I always do it on a layer, because it does seep through a little bit. Whoops, I finished all of my seal adhesive. I have a backup. Let's get that in. All right. I've been going through a lot of this stuff recently. Let's get this in. Okay. I didn't get much down here. Okay. And we're going to pop this on. This is Thick Whisper White. I know we are out of Whisper White. I'm just using up the last bit that I have, but our new basic white is now in and available. I have it on order. I'm just waiting for it to come in so I can show it all to you. So for today, we are going to use the Whisper White that I have left. Okay, we're just going to center this on the card front. And that's it, all done. Isn't that cute? I kind of like it tied around the tail. So we have two options. We've got mouth and tail. Let's see if we can get those both in the frame. So you tell me which one you like better, mouth or tail. I like them both. I kind of like the tail because it's not covering up the face. I tried to cut his mouth so I could slide it under the mouth. Did not go well. So I had to smooth it back down and glue dot it. Yeah, so I kind of like the tail. I don't know. You tell me. All right, so our next card, I like color. I don't know if you know. That one had a lot of white in it. This one's going to have a lot of color. So I've used a Daffodil Delight base. And then I have, I'm going to just go ahead and put this down. I didn't pre-score anything. I just kind of stuck it up, cut it and put it on there. I have a layer of early espresso, and then this is some of the In Good Taste Designer Series paper. So we're going to go with this. And let's see. I will put measurements on my blog later today so you can know all the measurements for these projects. I'm also doing a little bit of linen thread. I'm going to wrap this around 3 times and tie a bow. 1, 2, 3. Get it on there, and then I can kind of mess with it a little. Tying the bow way over to the side. And I don't like to cut my ribbon until I've already tied my bow, so I don't have too much waste. All right, I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller, but that'll work for now. Okay. Cute. I'm just gonna make that kind of right in the middle, and let's go ahead and attach this. Oh, we'll just add a little bit more just to be safe. All right. Yeah, that is opening. Yep, always make sure it's opening the right way. All right, so I've already pre-die cut a label from the Tasteful Labels guys. I used this big one right here because that is the perfect size for our next little donkey. Let's get him on the block. He just fits on there. All right, I am actually going to stamp this donkey using early espresso. You can definitely, whoops, this is my old espresso pad. My other one's in a project. So this one's a little bit broken, but it's still juicy and it works. So this is my backup early espresso ink pad. So I'm just going to stamp the donkey right in the center. All right, super cute. And while I have that open, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. And we're just going to use the Hee-haw. And I like this one because it's kind of curvy. I want to make sure it's nice and inky. I'm just putting it on a little scrap of Daffodil Delight from my scrap drawer. All right. Whoops, goes. I really need like a 10-foot table when I'm crafting, and I don't have a 10-foot table. But that would be really handy, wouldn't it? All right, so we are going to do a quick coloring just like we did before. I'm just using my smaller tip because he's got little smaller hairs up there. Okay, I'm making a little shadow kind of all the way around his face. Let's do his tail. Do the back legs. Okay, I think we'll just do a little bit on his eyes. Let's see what that looks like. All right, once again, a quick color with the light crumb cake, just to fill him in. We're gonna do his nose, that bottom lip. I don't want to color the rose, but this is light enough that if I get a little bit on the rose, it's okay. All right, I think donkeys actually have lighter hooves, but I'm just using gray. All right, we'll use this little tip and do a little bit of blending. Not much, just a little bit. That squeaking is oddly satisfying when you're actually coloring. It's a little bit annoying when you're listening to it though. All right, I'm gonna use a little bit of light petal pink, just kind of give it a slightly different color on his face, and a little bit of gray for his hooves, even though I think they're closer to his nose color. But I don't think the donkey police will come get me. All right, now I'm gonna do daffodil. I'm using the dark daffodil delight just to color the rose. It's way too small to try to blend anything. And then a touch of grainy apple green on the flower, stem and leaves. All right, so we're just going to pop this up with some dimensionals. I'm just gonna put 4 of the minis right there. Get that peeled off. We'll put this right in the center of our card. Okay, and now we're going to just trim this with scissors. So I want to follow that curve, so I'm just kind of, oh no, I did that wrong. I was gonna flag the ends. Oh, whoops. Let's try this one more time. Not as dark as I want. Flip it over. Here we go. Okay, that will have to do. Set that aside. I'm going to leave a bigger end and then just follow the shape of the hee-haw. Okay. All right, and then flag the ends. Cute. All right, we'll just pop that up. I'm only going to pop it up on the right side because I want this at the same level as my donkey. Hee-haw. All right, let's stamp something on the inside. I forgot to do the other side. I'm just going to do just saying hello. Where's that? This one. Just saying hello. I feel like that's what a donkey would say when he said hee-haw. So this way I can just write a quick note, and this takes up some of my insides. Cute. I might put, let's just put a little bit of adhesive on the back of this so it'll stick. Do I have some? Yep. Okay, cute. All right, so that's number 2. All right, number 3 is a slightly more involved card, but I wanted to give you kind of a little progress. So you start from real simple. We've got kind of one that takes a little bit more. It's got a die cut, and then this next one, which I think is super cute. And with the donkey, you know, you got to have a donkey out playing in the pasture. Let me get my supplies pulled over here. So this is the card we're going to make. Isn't that cute? And then I've used some of the DSP to make a little broken down fence right there, and then a die to use to make kind of a sun. So I'm going to show you how we're going to make this. All right, so I just have a white base, just for white base, and you could use either thick or regular, whatever you want to do. Then I have a layer of early espresso, and then I have a layer of the balmy blue. So this is going to go on here, but I'm going to put that on last. So I'm going to build my scene on my balmy blue. So I have a piece of granny apple green, and these are going to be my hills. So I'm going to start with making a little hill here. I'm just doing kind of going down in this direction, and then I'm going to take this one, flip it over, and then I can do a little layered look of a couple of hills. Isn't that cute? All right, I'm going to cut this one down just a little bit. Just kind of reshape. You can do what you want. Okay, let's see how that looks. Pretty good. And then we're going to do a little sun. And I've already die cut a sun. So my heels are a little taller in this one. Let's cut this down. We'll move it down just a little bit. Okay. So we're going to add our sun in first. So let's stamp. We're going to stamp Hey Friend. Make sure we can see everything. Let's get our Hey Friend stamp. All right, we're going to use, I'm just using espresso ink in here too. I'm going to stamp it up a little bit higher on my sun so that I can hide it behind the hills coming up. Then I'm going to use a little bit of So Saffron ink, or you could use Daffodil Delight, whatever yellow you have. I'm going to sponge around to give it a sun-like look. Okay, I'm just doing a light sponge. I don't need a huge amount of yellow on there. You could have cut this in So Saffron or Daffodil Delight cardstock too. All right, and now I want to give my hills a little bit of texture as well. So I'm going to sponge a little bit of our Granny Apple Green on our hillsides. Since the two hills are the same color, this will help define it so you can see both layers of the hills. I'm just going to go ahead and do my sides too, because why not? All right. Do this top one to match. Okay. A little bit of sponge dust there. Okay, I think we're done with our green. All right, now we have to decide how we're going to layer these. So I'm going to put this one here. So it's going to be a little bit above the bottom. but we're not going to see that. So we're going to tuck our sun in first. Do it right about there. All right. And then we'll put our back hills in, and then we're going to add our front hills. Got a dimensional back in there. Okay, and this is going to be flush with the bottom. All right. So next I want to build my fence. So I have a strip of this paper. This is actually the same paper that we used on the last card. And then I'm using the Modern Label Punch. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, Modern Label or Classic Label. And then I just punched out 4 of these. I think I already punched out 3. I was just going to town yesterday. All right, now they're pointy. They look like fence posts, but they're pointy on both ends, but I am not going to need both ends. So I'm going to just put a couple of dimensionals kind of near this, closer to the center. And I'm going to make this kind of a rickety fence. So it's going in different directions. You could do a regular fence too if you wanted. But I don't want my dimensionals hanging off. So I'm going to put this one down maybe a little lower, kind of leaning the other way. Let's put it a little bit lower. All right, and then I'm going to put these 2, and let's just use a little bit of Tombow adhesive. Put just a couple of little dots, and we'll put this kind of angling up there. We'll put 2 more dots with the other one angling down this way. So it's a little different. I did a little different on that one. That's okay. Make sure that's glued on. I'm going to give that just a second to dry before I trim it. And let's put our donkey on. And I had colored and pre-cut a donkey just to save time, because watching somebody cut a whole donkey out is a little bit boring. So I cut him out. I'm just going to use a couple of dimensionals and put him right here, frolicking on the hill. All right, and then I think we can go ahead and trim these. So I'm just going to cut them flush with the bottom and the side. Sliding just a little bit. That's okay. All right. So I'm just going to put this on flat since we've already got our fence and our donkey popped up. We'll just put this on. All right. And put this onto our card base. And then we'll stamp. You know what? Let's stamp an inside sentiment first. Let's do "You Are So Special," because this could be for birthday or, you know, whatever. All my friends are special. See, how did I get ink here? No, that's not ink. Okay, that brushes off. You know, ink goes everywhere. That's why you always stamp first and then glue after. Because if I messed that up, I could have fixed it. Okay, that's my sample. I need this part. All right. There we go. Super quick and easy. I will put dimensions later so you can see those. So with the Darling Donkey stamp set, it's one of our sale-a-bration items. So if you spend $50 out of catalog merchandise, you can get this stamp set for free. The In Good Taste suite that we used today, the whole suite is $85, but if you just wanted the stamp sets and or the dies, the bundle is $48.50 for the bundle. And then the linen thread that I used on two of the projects is only $5. So if you purchase both of those, that will give you your $50 amount, or you could change it out for the paper and just the dies, whatever you want to do. If you have any questions, just post them here. And I'm going to flip this back up. Let me see if you guys have any questions here. Flip that back around. Vicki, let's see. Okay, I don't think I see any questions. So appreciate you guys for stopping by, and I will see you next week. All right, bye-bye.